Hello and welcome back to Suspended Fanimation. I'm your host, Dennis Betholkis, and this is Future Man, Season 1, Episode 12, Prelude to an Apocalypse. Love the titles, love the show. Again, this is Hulu's, a Hulu original series. Future Man, excuse me. My brain also out there. And I don't get paid by Hulu. I'm not, bought off by Hulu or anything like that. I just really love the show. I'm recapping it in anticipation of season 2, which drops January 11th, and I'm going to recapping season 2 episode by episode as well. Hey, Movie Fanobi. Hello, Sculpted Leather Art by Viking Bitch and Slurmy Scott. I saw Slurmy was in there. He's making his soup at the moment. So yeah. I'm not going to say anything about that movie for now because I'm too close to Tijuana at this point. So, so where we're at here is we're basically 2 episodes away from the end of this season 1. Yeah. And hello, Penn Farm Girl. We got a lot of people coming in. This is good. So by the way, you can get a free Hulu subscription for 30 days. You can watch season 1. It's all up there right now. Season 2, they usually drop all at once as well. So if you get the free 30-day subscription, you can watch both seasons for free. You can also watch everything else they have in there too. They have Runaways and quite a few other shows. They have, NBC, ABC, and a lot of other shows and movies that you can choose from. So it's worth it to sign up for a 30-day free trial and take a look at this really great series. The series is actually produced by Seth Rogen and his partner Evan Goldman. And at first I was not sold on it, but I am now. It's sci-fi, it's comedy, it's time travel, and it's really done. It's done very, very well. So with that said, spoiler alert, I am going to spoil the episode, even though it's been out for a year. Wanted to give you guys a chance to walk away now. You can go and watch it and then come on back later on and watch the video and comment down in the comment section. So, and thank you, Viking Bitch, Sculpted Leather Art by Viking Bitch for the paddle. So, where last episode we saw what happened to Tiger when she went back to the 1940s, we get to see what happened to Josh when Tiger walked away from him, disappeared. And he's outside the crematorium and walks in to find out what's going on there. And because he used to work, of course, at Cronish Laboratories. He works at Cronish Laboratories, I should say. And he says, whoa, I work here. And they tell him to put his name in the system, and Josh Futterman. And his picture from 1985 shows up, him dressed up in lingerie with a lipstick smeared across his face. And we get a Prometheus protocol. And the guards grab him and throw him out and say, don't come back, otherwise you're going to be arrested. I did not pick up my Fiero. There was none at the beach and that I could actually pick up. So that's a different story when we Fanobi. We'll get to that. So Josh ends up walking over to his house. And when he walks in, the 2 video game people that normally at the video game store, the clerks, are in his house. And his house looks completely different. Big screen TV up on the wall, a lot of cheesy but higher end merchandise up there, on the walls as well. And they're like, oh, you're back from your trip from, Macau. That's pretty cool, man. I didn't know you were coming back that early. And your bae is going to come home too. Destiny, she's coming from Japan, so she'll be here as well. He goes, okay, I'm going to go upstairs. I'm a little jet lagged. And he decides to find out what the hell's going on. And he Googles himself, or it's not Google. It's now called Vloogle. And sees that Uncle Barry actually took his advice and went and signed up with that AOL job and became a millionaire. He basically hit it big in the tech industry. Juice, or J Futz, as he is called now, is worth $6 million as well, 6 million euros, I should say. So, and has made a energy drink called Juice. But yes, his uncle took his name. That's right, Future Man. So his uncle took his name, Future Man. Yeah. So they ask him if he wants the crew to come over, the two video game guys, and he's like, sure, why not? And have the crew come over. We'll take a look, hang out with them and all that kind of stuff. And just as he's hanging out with the crew and getting into things, finding out what this new life is like, Tiger and Wolf show up at the door, and they've rung the doorbell, and she says she's come from the 40s and he's come from the 90s. So, yeah. Oh man. And they fill him in on what happened. And he goes, wait, that all happened within 20 minutes, years. And as Wolf says, yeah, time travel can really fuck with your mind. It's a real mind fuck. Yeah, Juice actually became his name. That is some. Yeah, if you really want to fuck yourself over, go back in time and tell your parents, give them a name that's close to your name, but just kind of screwed up. That's the really great way of doing that. Oh man. So, and by the way, Tiger is completely addicted to cocaine. That's all he wants. He's looking for coke. And Tiger's like, you know what? He needs a detox. And he, of course, is thrown up in Josh's closet pretty much everywhere at this point. And she says he needs a detox. I need to do some recon to see what we're up against. We don't have a TTD device. Sorry, trying to say that really fast. It doesn't work. And so Josh says, okay, well, I'm going to stay here and I'll help Wolf detox. It shouldn't be that hard. And, of course, ties him to the bed instead and just leaves him upstairs to scream his head off. Tiger, in the meantime, goes and engages Stu Camillo, who Josh had seen outside the crematorium, and he was very timid and ran away from Josh, actually. Yeah, I know, coke, exactly, Mufinobi. And she fools him into taking her home with him. And, of course, she assumes the Tyann. People were right. Sorry about that. I said Diane last time. It's Tyann is her name. I finally saw it written down, and yes. She assumes her Tyann persona, where she cooks him a home-cooked meal, and he says, I haven't had a home-cooked meal since I left home, and that was 6 months ago. And basically, she finds out that Elias is up in the penthouse of the crematorium and hasn't left for months. No one's seen him in months, but a lot of live possums go up and dead possums come back down. A lot of possums. But he is going to do a press conference tomorrow is what's going to happen, and probably announce the cure is what's going on. That's what they're thinking that's going to happen. So Josh is still hanging around with the crew, and of course we hear Wolf upstairs screaming for more coke, and he calls for Josh. Josh goes upstairs, and he says, I'm shitting your bed again. And Josh, of course, does not have any coke, is not going to give him any coke, and says, you know what, you need to ride this shit out. He tries to give him some drink, like an energy drink or a smoothie, but of course he doesn't want any of that. And so what happens? But Wolf ends up having a lot of hallucinations. He sees Blaze, who he goes, why didn't you warn me about OJ, man? And he, of course, had written a book. His name is Brian, too, by the way. And he goes, how did I not know that? He sees Zog. Zog has skateboarded into the room, and he goes, how did you get up the stairs? I ollied. Which I thought was pretty damn funny. And, of course, Corey Hart. Corey Hart shows up and sings Wolf a special song from the backlog collection that he has of 80s songs. Yeah. Yeah, so Wolf is just tripping balls at this point. And I love, he also said to Josh at one point, he goes, I just need a bump and 20 bendy straws. Just wrong. So wrong. And finally, he ends with Tiger coming in and feeding him some food. She lays down on the bed there and is feeding him from a plate as he's tied to the bed. And he realizes that he can taste again. He had lost his sense of taste. Now his taste is back again because he has kicked cocaine addiction, which we'll get to in a little moment there. So Tiger pulls Josh aside from his bros downstairs and tells them what the plan is that they're going to train him and they're going to infiltrate the building and blow it up. They're going to blow up the crematorium, the tower there. And the fear scraper is what they're going to do. And Josh says, "Oh, just like T2." And Josh goes, Wolf says, "Yeah, Schwarzenegger, man, he was a customer of mine. He was awesome. Oh, the sexcapades that we had." Which just leaves you to wonder a lot of different things, because Wolf does not elaborate any further than that. And we all know that Wolf kind of swings both ways on that. So Tiger says, "You know what? We couldn't find a partner to train with you that is at your level, but we did find something." And she goes, "This is on your doorstep, and it's a sex doll that is in a crate labeled to Future Man." And she puts it on sticks, and that's how they start training him, is by having him fight a sex doll, which he loses at very badly. He gets beaten pretty badly by the sex doll. And I never thought I'd actually say that on the air, but yeah. This is finally they have Josh show them the killing move with his, palm up into the nose, and he does it well finally, and they're like, "Okay, you're ready." And then they tell him the real thing is that they're the bombs, and they're going to blow up the building themselves using their bodies. So yeah, Slurmy Scott, I heard that rumor too. That I left that out, but yes, that was the inside joke on that one. So as well, there's a lot of inside jokes in this show, man. I mean, there's some deep cuts if you really want to get into it. But I don't have that much time, so I'm skimming over, giving you what I can on the good stuff. So when Tiger and Wolf tell him that they're the bombs, Josh is like, "Nope, screw that, I'm out." And he says, "My life here is really good." He says, "Ever since I came back," he goes, "when I didn't play the game, I have a better life. I have money now, all this kind of stuff." He also knows that his parents are living in a condo, is what he's been told. So yeah, it's all kinds of stuff. And of course, Wolf has to tell him again, time travel is fucked up, because everything is better for him, even though the future is going to be fucked up. So Tiger lets him go, and Josh and Wolf realize that Tiger has become really nice now. Kind of a weird thing. I mean, she's been there for years, out in the 40s. So, and Wolf, of course, has to give Josh an analogy, telling him, even though you live in a fireproof palace, you're not invincible. You got to realize that. And everything's an illusion. This whole thing is an illusion. And as he says, there is a downside to cocaine addiction. It takes most of a day to kick it. And second, everything's an illusion. You got to take those words. I mean, honestly, someone needs to release a book of all the Wolfisms that come out of this. I know it's going to be a very short book, but still, it's pretty damn funny. The Fireproof Palace, yes. Yeah, the 40s really did rub off on Tiger, Viking bitch. Really, it did. So Josh goes downstairs and starts talking to the video store clerks. He thinks they're his friends. He's like, "Hey guys, don't worry about that. They're cleaning up." And he goes, I got people, I hired people to do that, right?" And they're like, "Yeah, we're the people." And he's like, "What? You work for me?" And they're like, "Yeah, boss. We work for you. And we didn't want to interrupt you or anything. It sounded like you were kicking the shit out of Destiny." And he's like, "Wait, Destiny? Yeah, you're bae. Destiny is the doll. That's his girlfriend, is the love doll." And he realizes that his life is actually pretty pathetic, even though he's been developing video games and has 6 million euros. So it's not what it's all cracked up to be. So Josh goes out and visit his parents in their condo, which is really just an old folks home, like a really downscale old folks home that is pretty horrible. They don't have any cable. Gabe says no one even wants cable, and yet they don't have it. They don't have any entertainment, and they have to get their meals from a vending machine, and they have to pay for the vending machine as well. So it's pretty bad for them. And basically, he declared his parents incompetent and took the house from them. Is what happened. Kicked him out early and threw him in that old folks home. And his father doesn't want anything to do with him and tells him to get the fuck out, as he says. And I love, he says, we should have never named you Juice. I think that hardened your heart. But I couldn't help but name him after that Latino fellow that threw up on our rug and got us closer together. And Josh is again with the Latino thing. What the hell is this? because his father keeps thinking he's a Latino fellow for some reason. We don't know what the hell that's all about. So Josh goes back to the house and he goes into the shower. He's going to take a shower because his dad had spilled some split pea soup on him. And who ends up being in the shower but Jay Futz? Yeah. And all I can say is there is an extended pickle scene in this one, a double pickle scene, where we get to see the size of Wolf's pickle that is now on Josh, and we get to see what that was in what Josh was actually originally working with on Juice. And Jay Futz, or Juice, thinks that Josh is a clone assassin sent to stop him from playing in the E-games. And he says, it's not going to work. You know, you can tell him to go fuck off. And he goes, they were sent to intimidate. If you were sent to intimidate me, well, that thing is really intimidating, but they can fuck off. And Juice is going to fight him. And Josh turns around and, you know, he does the palm to nose move, but slaps Juice in the nose. And just as Juice goes to take a swing, he slips on the floor and cracks his head open and kills himself. Yeah. Yeah. And damn, that's all I can say. So Josh ends up grabbing Tiger and Wolf and says, whoa, wait. We don't need to blow ourselves up. There's another way. I've got another plan. Every time Josh has a plan, I always cringe because his plans are bad and they always end up making things a lot worse. And he brings them over to the house and shows the other Josh or Juice and says, look, something happened where this is an alternate reality now. He goes, so if there's two of me, there's two of you waiting in the future. He says, I never played the game, so you never showed up. He goes, all we need to do is, if I play the game, beat it, we can bring your guys over. Just send you a message telling you never to take the tunnel, avoid the tunnel. And that's what he does. They grab the game, they say avoid the tunnel, and Josh marathons through the game so that they can beat it and get the new Tiger and Wolf to come from the future. And in the meantime, while they're waiting, Wolf decides to whip up a whole bunch of food for the arrivals because there's going to be, 45 of them showing up. Yeah, Pickle Inspector there, your Penn Farm Girl. Yeah. Yeah. And I love he goes, yeah, since we never, played the game, this never happened. And Wolf says, Groundhog Day, Andy McDowell. I hit that. So Josh ends up beating the game, and Tiger says, stand back. There's about to be a lot of hungry, angry people showing up. And the wind starts swirling around the room, and that's where the episode ends. Some pretty good stuff, man. I mean, I forgot about the Corey Hart cameo, honestly, and started laughing again when I saw it. It made me laugh a lot. And just some other stuff too. I mean, Zog talking about ollieing up the stairs with the skateboard. Some really funny stuff, man. Yes, of course, that was obviously fake, Penn Farm Girl, but very disturbing at the same time. I was actually thinking about using that and pixelating it out as the picture for this one. I'm like, no, I can't do it. I can't push it that far. YouTube's gonna slap me. I know that if I do that. So I'm still a youngin channel at the moment, and I don't want to get any kind of slaps on that one. The movie for nobody says laugh out loud dance. I forgot about the Corey Hart also. Reminded me of a boy band solo. So, dude, the tattoos, the tribal tattoos around his arm, and I just started laughing. I mean, it was very, very 90s. All the stuff that he had. So yeah, so if you haven't seen the series, please do yourself a favor. Sign up for the free trial of Hulu. Take a look at it. It's some really good stuff. Also, if you like what you see here, hit the subscribe button down below. Also hit the like button too, if you don't mind. And you can hit the notification bell as well. That way it'll tell you when there's new videos that I'm going to be popping up. Every Saturday morning at 10 a.m., I do 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, by the way. I do what's called the Saturday Morning Blast Off, which is a whole bunch of genre entertainment news, about TV shows, movies, all kinds of stuff. And also, it's just chatting with you guys in the chat as well. Usually takes about an hour, hour and a half. We go through a whole bunch of different things, but it's a lot of fun. And we get to talk to each other like we're doing now. I mean, granted, I don't hear you, but I get to see what you're writing. So if you like that, also you'll see coming up here, probably a little subscribe button up here and a little video over here that probably is going to see what you like out of my videos and match you with that. Go ahead and hit both of those buttons there. So I cover Counterpart right now, Future Man. I don't know if I'm going to be covering the rest of Runaways. I'm still kind of debating that. Deadly Class I am going to be covering, Project Blue Book as well, and a few other shows here and there as we go through, as well as movies that premiere, like Glass, that's coming up January 18th. So again, if you like what you see, subscribe, take a look at the videos, and subscribe down below here. And with that, I will let you guys get back to your evening. Thank you very much, everyone in the chat. And don't let the door hit your ass on the way out. Otherwise, you might find out that your counterpart has a bigger penis than you do. Good night.